my initial impressions for the new Morozko Forge ice bath that is recently getting released. So I saw this photo on social media. I naturally got very, very excited, as Morozko Forge is the preferred ice bath of popular podcaster Joe Rogan. To me, Morozko Forge is synonymous with just a really high quality product. Quite frankly, it's famous for being one of the only ice baths out there that actually makes its own ice, which is really, really awesome. So for those listening, this is an announcement for a new product from Morozko Forge. The new Morozko Forge Ice Plunge packs more cooling power into a smaller space. Although it holds 20% more water, it occupies less floor space. So I guess they're going for something that's better for businesses or people with limited amounts of space. So that's certainly pretty cool. Good option to have. Naturally, I got very, very excited to see this. My initial thoughts were, damn, this is great. Hopefully this will be a smaller, more compact version of the Morozko Forge, and hopefully for a much cheaper price. So I head to their website, and bam, this thing costs like $16,000. So even more expensive than their original model, which looks to be $13,000. Diving in, it does look pretty cool. It reminds me a lot of the ice barrel style cold plunges where you squat as opposed to lay. This is just personal preference, but I personally prefer to lay. I just think it's a little easier to get your shoulders down. Nonetheless, this looks pretty sweet. Nice and compact. There's a video here showing that it does make ice like its predecessor, so glad they kept that functionality. And it looks like, unlike the ice barrel, they've actually made it into a little seat. My initial thoughts were that I don't like to see the seat. As someone who's 6'1", 200 pounds, it looks like it might be a little difficult for the taller guys to be able to submerge. However, they recently put out this video of a guy who they say is 6'1", weighing 308 pounds. I like that they have the seat acting also as a step, so I didn't actually even think of that, but that is a really nice feature of the seat. And it actually does look like he's able to get into the ice bath just fine. It's tough for me to say exactly how crammed he is in there because you can't exactly see the bottom with all the ice in there, but he does look fine. So anyway, it looks like to me where that little nook is, where the seat is actually where all the components like the chiller and everything are. So that definitely makes sense, and that is a nice stylistic choice rather than having a chiller off to the side of the ice bath. So definitely a really nice form factor, and I definitely think this thing will inevitably look great in any setting. Obviously, I would absolutely love to get my hands on one of these, but at $16,000, it is just so out of range for most people out there, including myself. I mean, this thing like literally costs more money than my car. I'll tell you what though, based off of my initial impressions, if I had to choose between this one and the original being the one that you can lay down in, I would say I would probably still go with the original. This was a clip from my podcast, the Cold Plunge Podcast. If you want to see more clips like this, be sure to subscribe on all major podcast platforms and check out the links in the description of this video for more.